Hello, this is Gerald Jovawas. How does it come that a structured vision of all the letters into a numerical order in a very rhythmical order of 3 times 3 that you have in that system also two letters at the same spot? It doesn't make sense at the first idea. It shouldn't make sense because how can that be an order? That you have really a very good order in all the letters and that we make that order. Now, even if we would see at the 3 different regions that we can make a distinction in it, 3 dimensions of space, 3 dimensions of space with the aspect of time, and 3 dimensions of space with the aspect of time and space into a balanced out position, so into 1, 2, 3 regions, we can have an order of 3 times 3. So how does it come that this order also allows one position with 2 different letters? It's because there's also a communication. There is an irregularity in our communication. It's not that we are talking, so we are always right. No, we expect and have to expect also a certain feedback. So things will not go always as we please. They will go into the world of interpretation. They will go into a world of experience, and there will be a counter feedback. So there will be a counter feedback. And thanks to this system of going forward with something and receiving feedback, that there is a certain point where you have that choice. And that choice is actually the expression of what shall we do? Shall we go forward with what we think? It's the W. Or shall we sense actually what the feedback is telling us? And that's the Z. And I will tell you the place in it, and I will explain you how you can recognize it and why why it's very logical that there in just one position there are 2 options. And that's actually the basics of conversation. Of course, you have to have the options between yes and no. This uncertainty principle, I will talk about it a few more times. But let's have these 3 times 3 positions in a couple of different ways of order. So there is the region of 3 dimensions in space where we have points where we really see, okay, here it is. So that's the points that you see there from ATK to C and up until CMX. Into a frame, that's our foundation, into a frame which is our object of focus. When we see changes, we look more at the directions. It's the same positions, but with directions. So that is the aspect of changes of timing things, because then you also time the direction. So you only not have this fixed position, but it goes to somewhere. And these are the directions. Again, 9 letters. 9 positions, that's what I say. But there are 10 letters there, so I'll come to that very soon. And then the framing, which is the feedback process. In the framing, you will be able to see, okay, what is really the amount of feedback that you'll receive there. This feedback process, where does it come from? It comes actually from the essence of why we have conversations, why we have a talk, why we have reasoning, is because it can test things and receives feedback. So we say something, we formulate it, and we receive feedback. So there are actually always 2 opposite directions that try to find a balance. This is the green arrow up, that is my starting vision, and as a feedback the arrow down. All these letters are in balance between these 2 options. So in A, it's the strongest way forward. That's why also you have different degrees. So you have the blue degree, which is the physical degree, where nothing changes, where everything is really steady and you can go forward with it. The green zone, in which the things are changing. You know they are changing, so you have to deal with changes. And in the red zone, where you have to deal with that, you're going to lose it a little bit, this push forward, because the feedback is there very strong. The things that can go in all directions is the strongest. So also these three positions into three are always there. But besides that, there's also this push forward, what I want to achieve, which goes less and less strong, because there will come also more and more feedback, and the feedback is going to be dominated in just one point, and that's the point exactly of W and Z. Now let's pick that point out. So let's put the frame of space into the timing, because it's in timing, so we will have that in the background. We will add the right place of the three directions, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, and we will only keep what's there for the Z and W. It's the move forward of the timing itself, and it is the diagonal direction. Now let's also look at the three positions in the middle, O, E, and the last one, Z or W. They are all about timing, and it's about what is going to be moving and changing and what's going to move forward. So that's the mindset of these three letters, three positions, O, E, and Z and W. The O will start the timing. It will start to move the time. The E is within the move of time. So it is the time, or almost like that. It is time to do something. It's almost like that thing. And then when the timing is almost ending, you have the end of the move in time. So these are the positions purely from the positions in logic in the system. But there's also these two arrows. So you have the push forward and the push back. So you have, and what is there in the Z and W? You also have horizontal, vertical, diagonal to it. The last one is the diagonal. But there's this feedback which has an influence there as well at that diagonal. So we have a push forward, we have a diagonal, which means it is going away from our original vision. Where is it going to be going away to? Is it going to follow what I think is still the best thing to follow, or will it follow the feedback process? And that will be the choice. But it is also the only place, if you can see in the system, if you have the horizontal, vertical, diagonal, 3 times 3, combined with the push forward and the push back, you have that point where you will have, for the first time, the feedback that's going to dominate. And just at the moment where we are losing in the diagonal, we are losing our push forward, we are at the end of our push forward. Where will it be there? It will have the contradictions there. It's that balance of the push forward and the push back. It will meet and it will contradict itself. So you have the two options, or the feedback will dominate, and then this diagonal, where can it go to? It can only go inwardly, and that's the Z. That's the sensing of what shall I do? What is the feedback from what I sense is different. Okay, I sense that inwardly and I adapt. If the push forward will dominate, I will linger on, actually, because it's not a strong power anymore. You have already feedback. The feedback is going to dominate, so we can still linger on, but it will go outwardly, like the W. It fades out a little bit. That's what you have. At that same point, the diagonal, for the first time, can go actually in two directions, simply because of the feedback system in the W or in the Z. And that's the way to understand the difference between W and Z, and what it does into a word, into a system, into the choice of letters in a word as well. And that's actually enough to understand it and to grasp actually where the W or the Z is. And all the things that you can associate from logic that comes forward from it, from experiences that come forward from it, can all be derived to that position. Thanks again for watching. Bye.